You might not have heard of it before, but in this part of the world, it is a hugely big deal. It's bringing together leaders from 26 countries, broadly to talk about security and development issues. But when you take those countries in the round, they account for 43% of the global population. So very, very big and very influential indeed. Some people are calling it the axis of upheaval. And when you look at the guest list, you can understand why they might be saying that. We've got leaders here from Russia, from Iran, India, Pakistan, Turkey, Belarus. The list goes on. It's not a sort of a formal alliance as such. It's not like NATO. It's not like these countries will share in any sort of mutually dependent security pacts or anything like that. And real tangible agreements, perhaps a little unlikely, just given the different interests around the table. But what this summit will do is provide really striking optics about China's ability to convene these powers at a time that arguably some are saying that America cannot, and people will absolutely be watching on from the West. And some of this really sort of the optics around it designed to rattle some of those looking on from the West. Now, one of the key things people will be looking out for is, of course, Vladimir Putin, and if there is anything to be said about the war in Ukraine and, of course, Donald Trump's recent efforts to try and forge a type of peace. Putin comes into this summit buoyed up, I think, confident, most certainly, and he is here to really shore up support from those countries who have had his back through this conflict. China, for its part, it always says that it's neutral on the Ukraine war, but it has, over the months and years, been supplying Russia with not just markets for its oil and gas, but components and crucial diplomatic cover as well. So I think there will definitely be efforts behind the scenes to make sure those two countries singing from the same hymn sheet when it comes to Ukraine. Just worth saying, you know, China does have some interest in that war concluding. Like, it doesn't like instability. It's certainly interested in some of the contracts to rebuild Ukraine. But China wouldn't want to see any sort of conclusion that made Putin look weak or that made Trump look too successful or too victorious. I think the other thing to really watch out for is the fact that India's Narendra Modi is also here. Remember, there is absolutely no love lost between the world's two most populous countries. They share a border. There's a bitter border dispute that spiraled over into violence in 2020. But this comes at a time where the Trump-Modi relationship has really soured. India is subject to some 50% taxes on its goods. So China really welcoming with open arms those for whom some say Trump is pushing away. And that really suits China. But look, I think fundamentally underpinning this whole summit is about China's power and about China sort of burnishing its credentials as a global leader. It has been carefully, calculatedly making these moves, showing the world that it could lead a new type of international order if indeed Trump wants to rip up the rule book. It's absolutely happy to step into that void, and you will see Xi Jinping, the president of China, front and center of everything in the next few days.